Hi everyone, Dani here, and welcome to Spenelli Speaks and another Friday Reads. Now this week's going to be a little bit different because I decided to integrate vlogging and my Friday Reads into one. So instead of coming to you at the end of the week with a big mishmash of ranting and raving over certain books, I thought I would bring you along the journey of me fitting in reading throughout the week. And when I say fitting in reading, I mean I am a stay-at-home mom with 2 toddlers who are always in need of me and my time. So how do I get all of that reading done? I'm going to show you how and tell you a little bit about what I've been reading within that time. Right, honey? Okay, so this morning I have a ton of dishes to do. It is Sunday morning. I did not read anything, so I did not start the vlog yesterday, but today is Sunday. And this morning I have to get started with the dishes. So let me tell you a little bit about a book that I have been reading while I'm doing that. First things first, I have to make myself a cup of tea because I just need some kind of pick-me-up right away in the morning, especially when doing chores. As I mentioned last week, I'm reading Quicksilver by Callie Hart. Not too far in at this point, basically just getting the players down. I think last time I mentioned anything, the main character, Sarah's Fane, who has an affinity to metals, was taken through a portal when she was on the brink of death by someone who was very dreamy, but she also believed was death. So she's in this fae world, and she's surrounded by people she doesn't know, obviously. And we're learning about how she may be an important part of their world in order to help win a war, so to speak. So I'm hoping I learn a lot more soon because there's a lot to know. Able to make some breakfast for myself and the kids. They always share off of my plate, so that's always fun. Okay, so we're back. It is about 11:30 and I am just about to clean our downstairs where the kids like to play. I just put the kids down. They are talking at each other and whatnot, but they'll go down. They just had lunch, so now it's nap time. I've got my headphones so I can listen to Warbreaker. It's the next book that I'm listening to, Branden Sanderson. I think it's like number 14 in the Cosmere. I'm not really going in any order. I'm pretty much just going off of recommendations from family and friends. But let me just take you around my living room real quick so you can see the mass chaos that my children impart on me every single day. So this is, I don't know if you can see, like, this is the mayhem that is my house. Like, it's just everywhere. So I just don't even know how to explain how this happens every single day. It just does. It just does. So I'm going to get some cleaning done. I'm going to listen to Warbreaker, and I'll put you on a time lapse so you can watch me clean my living room. So that's what we're going to do. While I'm doing that, I'll let you know how Warbreaker was. So as I begin any new fantasy read, I'm always kind of trying to get my footing, and Warbreaker is no different. I am having a hard time trying to figure out who's who. There are these princesses, Ciri and Vivenna. There's these mercenaries that are helping Vivenna. There are these gods and returned gods. People have breaths that they can give to other people, and some people have lots of breaths, some people have no breaths. There's a potential war coming. It's all very confusing. So I'm just gonna keep listening and find out if I can figure any of it out, and tell you about it as I go. The main thing is Branden Sanderson is really good at world building and creating something different. So at least there's that. I hope that I like this as much as Tress of the Emerald Sea, but I'm not sure because right now I'm really not catching my footing. But I'm going to continue to listen and see if I can get any more information, which I'm sure I will. But at this point, the princess is off to marry a god. Okay. I'm done. So what time is it? It is almost 1. It's about 1 o'clock. So an hour and a half of cleaning. I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't. But my dining room, the table is all clean, which is wonderful. And the floor, there are no longer any random toys on the floor. And then the living room, believe it or not, there's actually a floor in here. So I got it all clean, which is incredible, especially this area over here is just the absolute worst, but everything's all cleaned up. So thankfully I was able to get that done while the kids are sleeping. So yeah, I hope you understood anything that I was talking about Warbreaker. But right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break. I'm going to make myself some lunch, grab a Diet Pepsi or Coke or whatever I have, and look how red I am, and just relax until the kids wake up. So I'll continue to listen to Warbreaker and just relax because I need to catch my breath and get ready for round 2 of hanging out with my kids. So hopefully they won't destroy the living room too much, but it's inevitable. So I will talk to you again later. Well, that's been a day. It's about 8:15. The kids are finally in bed. They go to bed a little bit later on days that my husband comes home from work later, so he's able to see them. So we just got them into bed. We had Domino's for dinner, which was nice because I didn't have to cook. Since you saw me last, I did read a little bit more in Warbreaker while the kids were napping. They had a nice long nap, so that was nice. I was able to get all that stuff you saw me get done, as well as have lunch for myself and just kind of relax a little bit. So tonight I am doing some reading from my Kindle. I am still reading Quicksilver, which I mentioned this morning. So I am going to get farther into that. I like to try to do at least 2 chapters a night. Usually by this time I get pretty tired. So I'm hoping for 2 chapters. If I read more than that, it's a bonus. But I'll let you know how that goes tomorrow. But I'm going to end the clips here for tonight. And then, like I said, I'll check in with you in the morning. Hi, friends. It is Monday, about 9:45, and I am in a really long line at the car wash. My husband requested that I get my car washed. I'm out running errands, and he's like, you should take the car to the car wash since the degrees are up. And it's a really long line. Everyone had the same idea. I'm like 7th in line, so we're just kind of sitting here. I thought I would chat with you for just a bit. I did grab a coffee from Scooters. It's like a sea salt caramel something or other. I did get it with oat milk so that I don't have a wicked tummy later. But I do notice that Scooters coffee is much sweeter than other coffees. Probably one of the reasons why I don't go there as often, but it was right next door to the Quick Trip that I'm trying to get this car wash at. So whatever. It's good. It's just a little on the sweet side. In my reading life, so last time you saw me, I was getting ready to kind of lay down for the night and read Quicksilver. I think it's Callie Hart is the author. You heard me talk about it yesterday a little bit. But
I did get a couple more chapters than I anticipated read. I think I read like 4 chapters at least. And it's pretty good. I'm still like grasping and understanding the world and the players that are involved. Quicksilver is referring to metal, essentially, that this main character, who I don't know how to pronounce her first name, but I'll call her Osha because that's what the Kingfisher guy calls her. She can manipulate it. She's an alchemist. I think I'm liking it. It feels slow still, like, because I'm almost at the 50 percentile of this book, and I still feel like it's kind of moving a little bit slowly, but I'm not upset about it. There is a lot of information that the author is gifting us. There's a lot of sexual tension between the main characters, but it's not being like, it's not insta love, which I really like. Like, they totally despise each other, but underneath it all, they like are in love with each other. Like, they really want to see where that goes, but she can't stand him, and he doesn't really like her all that much. So that's fun. I like that. That's fun. I hope it takes the whole book for them to do anything, if at all. Because I'm not really like, I don't really care about romances and fantasies. Like, if I want to read a romance book, I'll read a romance book. In fantasy books, I want like the story to carry the book. I'm not there for romance. I don't care about that. But anywho, so yeah, super fun, and liking it. I did wake up in the middle of the night because my kids woke up in the middle of the night, so I was able to read a little bit more. And in that portion that I read, they moved locations, so they're no longer in the Winter Palace. They are somewhere else where the Kingfisher lives, and we got to meet a sprite, which I thought was super fun because he was so cute. But yeah, it's been good reading today. I am just going to be going to the grocery store, and then my husband's home, so it'll be more like family time. So you probably won't see me until the end of the night when I go down for the night and continue reading in Quicksilver. I don't know if I'll read any more in Warbreaker today, but if I do, I will let you know. And then I have to prepare for our discussion of the death of Miss Westaway for DoubleBookedCo's book club, which is tomorrow night, which is Tuesday. So I have to get the questions for that up and running, and then that'll be for tomorrow. But yeah, so you will see me probably later tonight. But until then, yeah, I hope you're having a good day so far. Hi, everyone. Tuesday morning. It's about 9:15. I just had to take my son to a follow-up appointment at the doctor's office. So if you hear him in the back, he's just like, why are we stopped? Why are you talking? But I wanted to quick come on here and let you know about my reading. You didn't see me last night because I couldn't be moved to bring the camera to my face. It was a long day. And I just wanted to read. So I did. And boy, am I glad that I stopped the night before where I was, because had I gone one more page, I would have had nightmares, because like a crazy scene happened with some monsters that I had not been yet aware of, and they were super creepy and disgusting, and I'm so happy that I did not read those in the middle of the night and then immediately go to bed, because I would have had nightmares. So I read about them last night instead. And let me tell you, oh my gosh, I did not know that this book, Quicksilver, was going to have vampires. That's right, vampires are in this book. Now, not your romantic vampires. No, these are like zombie-like blood rage vampires. They're disgusting, and they are brainless, and they just do whatever their captain says, which is a guy named Malcolm, who used to be Fae, and then with this curse thing that they use, so the Fae used to have to drink blood, but then the curse was lifted. But some people, like Malcolm, decided, I'd rather be this disgusting vampire horde guy. So he stayed being a vampire, and he can change people and they keep their minds. But those like secondary Fae vampires cannot. So that's how they create this big army of like zombie-like vampires. And Malcolm really, so like when they were describing him, he sounds like Lucius Malfoy, like silver hair, just gross dude. So that's who I'm envisioning every time he comes on the scene. Fisher and Saris, who's the main character, who he calls Osha, they get it on. And let me say, I wouldn't call it spicy because it's more about the connection. Like, I know that sounds really like it's a sex scene, Dani, but there wasn't a lot of like describing of certain part, like there wasn't all that, which I truly appreciate, because I don't need a sex scene to have like complete descriptions of every body part known to us. I get it. I get it. I get what they're doing. This really felt more like it was like pages of what they were experiencing being together, skin on skin, what it meant. It was all in their heads, like not Fisher, because we only get the point of view of Saris, but it was so good. Like, I was moved. I was like, wow, this is it. This is what I want in like fantasy romance. This is good. Like, I felt like the author like got it. Like, we're not looking for like slap happy, good for them, like yay, they finally have sex. We're looking for this connection. And it was so good. It was like the buildup of them, like this hate on hate, like I want you but I hate you at the same time, and then for them to come together and have this moment, and it means so much. It was really good. It was really good. So, not to blush or anything, but I really enjoyed the thought behind like making sure that we understood that this is more about them finding each other than them doing the naughty. So, anyways, I'm really liking this book. Like, at this point, like now with the vampires and like really understanding what's at stake here, I am definitely going to be watching the movie. I am definitely going to be continuing in this series. I don't know that I'll give this book 5 stars unless the ending is fantastic. It's probably more of a really awesome 4 stars. But I'm thoroughly enjoying this book so far. So we are at Kohl's because I saw online some dragon earrings, and my stepdaughter's birthday is in 2 days. So I want to see. I already got her some gifts, but I saw those earrings and I was like, ooh, those would be perfect. So I'm going to see if they have them here. I don't know that they do, because when I was looking online, it didn't seem like they did. But I'm just going to go in and look anyways, because sometimes the internet is wrong. So I'm going to take my son in, and we're just going to do a quick lap and see what we see. I have to also pick up a card, and I know they have cards in here. So instead of having to go somewhere else, I'm just going to pick one up here. So anywho, that's what I have for you so far. And maybe you'll see me later today. I did read some more of Warbreaker yesterday too, but it wasn't as exciting as Quicksilver. So I needed to tell you that. So I don't want my son to be waiting for me any longer. So let's go into Kohl's.
Unfortunately, my camera was not recording when I was walking into Kohl's, so here is what I ended up getting. I got that card, and then I did find the earrings that I wanted. So we got some crawlers so that she'll pin in and also hook onto her ear. I thought these were really cool. So you can see kind of on the back there. And then I did end up finding the other pair as well. And these ones kind of hook so the front of the dragon will be on the front of her ear, and then the back of the dragon will be on the back of her ear. I thought these were so adorable. She'll love them.
Hi, it is about 12:15. We've lunched. The kids are up for their nap. I am going to be taking a shower soon, since I have the time to do so without children. I'm probably going to watch a little bit of TV and possibly read Quicksilver at the same time. Yes, I'm one of those weirdos that watches TV and reads at the same time. I am a multitasker. I can't help it. But it is what it is. Anywho, I thought I'd come back. In the last clip you saw, I was at Kohl's. I found exactly what I was looking for. The smaller dragon earrings that I picked up, I wanted the black ones, but they did not have black ones. So the ones that I got you could kind of see in that clip, they are more of like a black and blue, but like more of like a purpley blue. I don't know. They're really pretty. So I did get those, and then I got the silver ones that kind of go up your ear. I think she's gonna love them, so I'm excited about that. But like I mentioned in that earlier clip when I was way uber excited about Quicksilver, I mentioned that I had read more in Warbreaker, but I didn't talk to you about it at all. So I thought I'd come back in, tell you a little bit about Warbreaker, which is the Branden Sanderson book. I think it's number 14 in the Cosmere. I talked to you a little bit about it before when I was listening to it when I was cleaning. And so what I read yesterday was really nice because it really explained a lot of the things that I was not understanding about the book. So as I started reading the book, you know, we have these princesses, we have these returned gods, and we have all this talk about breaths and how some, like most people, have one breath, but then people can give their breaths, and there are people that have multiple breaths. And I wasn't getting any of it because I didn't feel like there was any point in time where it was really explained in detail. And in the portion that I read yesterday, it was explained in detail. And I really have to give it to Sanderson because he does it in a way that feels completely natural as opposed to a huge info dump. Like, I feel like there's a lot of authors out there, especially in fantasy writing, where you have to build a new world and you have to give all of this information, and it's like info dumped on you in a really jagged way where you're like, whoa, that was a lot. But in this particular book, he has a scene where it's Light Song, who is the returned god of bravery, and his like priest, his like number two, who kind of helps him with everything. And Light Song himself is kind of confused about what his role is. It seems as if these returned gods don't have any recollection of their previous life, and they only have a small understanding, really, or the depth of what their importance is here. They know they're a god, they're going to be pampered and all these things, and they listen to petitioners every day who are requesting a miracle. And he's kind of dejected about this, and he doesn't really feel like he believes in the religion that he is being worshipped under. And his priest, or his number two, I don't know if he's actually a priest or I can't remember what his actual title is, but the guy that he is always around explains it to him, and in such a way that it doesn't feel like a huge weird info dump that is in a weird spot of the book. It just felt completely natural, and it explained that as a returned, you know, his sole purpose is to listen to his petitioners, listen to the people who worship him, and find the person that is, you know, most in his opinion worthy of the miracle. Hence then he would die. He would give his breath for that person to live on, or whatever their need is. He also goes into explain that not everyone returns, obviously, but he, for whatever reason, maybe possibly the way he passed in his first life, needed to come back to convey a message, to learn something different. It was such a nice way, and it was like, wow, you completely understand now. Okay, so this is what this is all about. So I liked that. I liked that we got that, and it didn't feel awkward, and it didn't feel like, you know, afterwards you had to sit down and like really try to, you know, put the pieces together. It was nice. So I liked that. We see that Siri is being presented. Fun fact, everyone there calls her Vessel. So because like her sole purpose is to, you know, carry an heir, they just call her Vessel. They don't call her Your Majesty. They don't call her Queen. They don't call her Siri. They just call her Vessel. Like all of her attendants and the priests that help with her, she's vessel. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I would punch somebody in the face. And then I think it's Vivenna, which is her sister, who was supposed to be the princess that marries the god. She's there to try to save her, and she inadvertently ended up getting like over 500 breaths like into her body. So she is on a completely different plane now, that she has all this breath. So it's really interesting to see the dynamic. I like that we are following different POVs. We haven't seen anything more from the rogue agent that we saw in the beginning of the book, but I don't doubt that somewhere in this scene they'll show up. So that's about as far as I am now. I think it's only like 20 some odd percent of the book, so I'm only in the tippy top of it, but I'll continue to read and update you as I go. Right now I'm going to watch some TV, read, I think I already said that, take a shower, do other things. Tonight is DoubleBookedCo's book club live discussion, so I have to prep for that, which isn't a ton, but we are discussing The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. So that's what we'll be discussing this evening. But until then, I'll update you when I can. Good morning. It is 8:45 on Wednesday. I have had breakfast, made the kids breakfast, and now I'm kind of just sitting and trying to think, one, if I would rather have tea or coffee, and two, what I want to accomplish today, which I think is going to be a whole lot of laundry. And I have to clean the living room again. It is a disaster. My kids, ay. But it is what it is. This is a daily event. So I got to get that done. And then maybe a little bit of reading later on. But so I meant to get to you more yesterday. Oh boy. But the day just really got away from me. Like I said, I was reading, and then I had DoubleBookedCo's live discussion at night. We discussed The Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware. And it was a decent discussion, but I had read it way in December, so I had forgotten a lot of it. So that kind of sucked. But anywho, I think I rated it like 4 stars. So if you're interested in like a suspenseful mystery, then there you go. I'll link the live discussion in the description if you want to check it out. And then after that, I did finish reading Quicksilver, which I'm going to rate 4 stars. I really liked that book. I really like all of the characters. I really like all of the reveals that happen at the end of the book. The end of the book had a huge like battle between not only like physical battle, but like battle of wits, and it just was really good. I really liked it. I'm liking this Fisher and Saris character. I'm really excited that this is going to be a series. The last sentence was like, what? And, you know, I've said in the past, like, I don't like how authors are using their books to, like, just write, and then leave huge cliffhangers at the end. But I didn't feel like this was a cliffhanger. I feel like there was enough revealed within the last 30% of the book that it was more of setting up the series. Whereas some authors that I've read recently, it'll be like the whole book is like nothingness, and then all of a sudden the last chapter is like boom, 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 boom. Oh, now please read the next book. So I didn't feel like that in this book. I felt like the last several chapters were continuing from what was in the book, and
was giving you really good information, and then the last reveal wasn't so much a cliffhanger, but was more like a, whoa, that is going to be crazy, and I wonder what is that going to mean for the cast of characters. So I'm excited about the next book. I do believe it's called Brimstone, but it doesn't release until like November. I didn't realize that this book was so new. I just had seen people talk about it on like Instagram, and I saw that it was available on Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, okay, well, I'll read it. And when I went to like tag the next book, that's when I saw that it says release date is November. And then I also saw that this book, Quicksilver, wasn't even released until September of this last year. So it's new. It's very new. So I'm so surprised that it's already being picked up for a Netflix movie. But I'm here for it. I think it's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to see where else it'll go, because we do still have bad guys out there that need to be slain. So I'm excited. I really liked that book. I would recommend it if you like fantasy, if you like vampires, if you like epic battles and fae and all this stuff. So yeah, it was good. It was very good. I liked it a lot. So where does that take me for some reading? I still have Warbreaker, so probably while I'm doing chores and whatnot, I will listen to that. And as far as any more physical reading I do have that Shades of Earl Grey, which is that cozy mystery by Laura Childs that I could dive into. So those are the two books I'm going to really try to focus on for the rest of the week, because I would like to try to get those done by the end of the month, which is the end of the week, so that I can start fresh for February. I don't have like too many ideas of what I want to read for February, but from a couple videos back, I mentioned I wanted to do like subscriber suggestions. So I do have a couple of books that I have been recommended that I will be trying to get to in February. So I'll probably talk about that more towards the end of the week. But yeah, so that's where we're at. And I will connect with you again later. Good evening. It is right about 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And I think last time you saw me, I was just telling you about the day. I think I finished Quicksilver and told you about that. I did some cleaning and laundry today and was listening to Warbreaker by Branden Sanderson. And sometime later in the day, a thought suddenly occurred to me that I don't think I'm really liking it. I'm 36% in, and like I have no real interest in the story. And I feel really bad because it's a recommendation from a friend and I really want to like it, but I don't know that I do. I'm not compelled to pick it up. I'm not moved by the story. It seems, I don't know if it's because I'm not very far in, so everything seems to be moving slowly. And I mean, there was just a pretty good reveal that is interesting, and I'm wondering where that'll go, but I'm not that compelled to pick it up. Now, that being said, I am going to finish it because it is a recommendation from a friend. I do have it on audio, so it's not as hard for me to read it when it's on audio. But I don't know. I was just sitting here thinking about it, and I was like, I don't think I like this book. And I don't know if that's the right way to say it. I don't dislike it, but I'm just not, I don't think it's my cup of tea. Maybe that'll change as I continue to read. But I think a lot of people at this point, if they were feeling this way, they would simply DNF it. But I'm feeling like I should just finish it. So I'm going to do that, but I thought I would mention that at this point. So the 36th percentile, I'm not feeling this book. uh, we've have the cast of characters, which are Ciri, the princess who is basically switched to marry the god. Um, Vivenna, who is the sister who is supposed to go, the princess that was supposed to be married, and she's come into that city to save Ciri. And she's kind of uncovered that there's like a lot more going on between the two um, realms, or not realms, but like the two regions. Like they're going to be going to war. So she's been exposed to the underbelly of that, and so she is working to save her sister. There's people in the palace that are kind of trying to persuade Ciri to not do her wifely duties, so to speak. Um, and then some of the returned gods are, or potentially going to help in the movement. It seems like everything's like moving towards like an anticipation of war. But what that means to the people is unknown at this point. I don't know. I'm just, yeah, I'm not feeling it, but I'm going to keep listening, and we'll see if it gets any better. Right now, I would probably say it's probably going to be a 3-star read for me. I think the writing is excellent, the world building is excellent. I mean, he can write. He can build a story. I'm just really not feeling it. And it's nothing to say against his writing. It's me. I think it's just me. It's just not my cup of tea. So yeah, it's like I said, it's like around 7. They just put the kids to bed, so I'm gonna relax. I don't know if I'm gonna read anymore tonight. Um, if I do, I'll probably pick up that Shades of Earl Grey, but I think I'm gonna check to see what I'm behind on Hulu, and uh, go to bed. I made some banana bread muffins, because I love banana bread, but also it's my stepdaughter's birthday tomorrow. She turns 18. Whew. And so I wanted to have a nice little treat for her in the morning. I'm going to wake up early and have those ready or available to her, and then have a cup of coffee for her to take to the school bus. So nice way to wake up and have a little cheery little snack. So gonna do that, and then yeah, so I will talk to you tomorrow, and keep you updated on what I'm up to. Hi friends, it is about 12:30 on Thursday. We had a bunch of appointments this morning, so I wasn't really able to connect with you right away, as we were handling that. But I thought I would come and check in with you. I think where I left you yesterday, I had mentioned that I wasn't really feeling Warbreaker, so I haven't read anything more in that, but I think what I'm going to do is continue as I get into the odds and ends that I need to do this afternoon. So, last night I did read like a chapter and a half of Shades of Earl Grey. And that's that Laura Childs cozy mystery. And it's really, so it's about this woman. This is the third in a series, so it follows the same characters. Theo, or Theodosa, and she is an owner of this indigo tea shop, and she solves murders because she's very inquisitive, I guess you could say, with the help of her employees and other odd friends.
In this particular book, they are at an engagement party or a wedding rehearsal, and the groom gets murdered. But they don't think it's murder right away because what it looks like is just that he was part of a very unfortunate accident. Like, he was in this greenhouse room where it's not a greenhouse, but it used to be a greenhouse. So the ceiling and everything is all glass and whatever. And there was a big storm, and the ceiling somehow fell through and hit him or something. But it comes later that the ring that was on display in there, which is like a very expensive heirloom, is missing. So that's how it's kind of like rolling down, like, okay, someone must have been up on the roof. They fell through, killing this groom and stealing the ring. So this one I feel like is going to be more of a murder slash heist mystery, which I think will be interesting. These are very laid back books. They're a little predictable, but you feel comforting reading them. They have comfortable characters, people that you get to know, people that are, consistent throughout the reading. I like Theo. I think she's pretty smart, and, she doesn't talk a lot about her physical attributes. I think sometimes the main character will always be very negative on themselves, and she doesn't really. She just goes with the flow and whatnot. So I only read a chapter and a half of that because I was getting really tired, and honestly I don't think I'll be able to finish it this week. I mean, it's the end of the week. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish Warbreaker either, but we'll see what we get done today. What I have to do while the kids are taking their nap, I just put them down. It is my stepdaughter's birthday today. I was able to wake up early and get her a nice little sweet treat and some coffee made so that she could have that on her way out. So that was really lovely. And then what I have to do now is I'm making cupcakes for her, and then I have to wrap her gifts. So I have to do that while the kids are sleeping because I can't do it while they're awake. They'll be all up in that. So I will listen to Warbreaker while I'm doing that. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So
just needing to wrap my stepdaughter's gifts. We got her this really cool 7-in-1 coffee maker, which I'm pretty envious of, but I thought it would be perfect for her dorm room. I obviously did not have enough wrapping paper, so I had to make do with what I had. I figured it out. I adapted. But I did get those dragon earrings wrapped as well, and I had gifted that to her via my kids, so my kids' names were on that, which I always like to do. Little sibling gift. So I also finished icing the cupcakes. I did chocolate cupcakes, and then I used this caramel latte icing that I found, but I also did some vanilla on some of them as well, just in case my younger kiddos did not like that. So but chocolate sprinkles, some rainbow sprinkles. There's the frosting that I used from Pillsbury. I thought they turned out nice, and I can tell you, they tasted great.
okay, so I made the cupcakes. I decorated or wrapped very oddly the gifts. But it's done. I can put all this stuff away, clean up this mess, and then when my stepdaughter comes home from school, shortly thereafter we'll have a special dinner for her. She'll be able to open her gifts and be able to enjoy our cupcakes. I do think I'm going to leave you here. I think I'm going to end the vlog here. It is Thursday evening. Usually I will end the vlog or do my Friday reads on Friday. But in the morning, the kids have 2 kids classes that they're going to be going to. So if I wait and do any editing till tomorrow, you won't see this vlog for a while. And I have a feeling that we are already way too long for this vlog. So if you've made it this far, good for you. I'm so happy that you are here. Thank you. I hope that you've enjoyed your time here. I am going to end it. So throughout the week, I did finish Quicksilver, which I did give 4 stars, and I did thoroughly enjoy it, so much so that I do think I'm going to use a credit on Audible and listen to it on audio, because I feel like it'd be a good audiobook to listen to, and I would like to reread it actually. So that was 4 stars. I'm 46% in to Warbreaker, which is very difficult to get through because I'm not really enjoying it. And then I am in chapter 4 of Shades of Earl Grey, which is the 3rd book in the Tea Shop Mystery series. So I think I'll probably read some more tonight and obviously tomorrow. So when I start next week's vlog, you will see where I got with those other 2 books, as well as what I will be reading the remainder of that week, which will be then February. I think I might do a January wrap up so that you can see all of the books that I read in the month of January. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I hope you are reading something fantastic, taking care, and staying safe. And as always, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.